Listen, 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 listen.
What's up? Episode 8 of the Listen Show. Today we're going to talk about dealing with writer's block. What do you do when you can't come up with that first idea to spark the others? It's like troubleshooting a computer. You go from the micro to macro. Like what's going on in this program? What's the problem? How can I directly affect the problem? Okay, how can I directly affect the things around the problem? So on and so forth until you turn your computer on and turn it off. Turn your computer off and turn it on again. So, some quick things that I do when it's hard for me to come up with ideas and things that I've seen work in the past is collaboration is the first one. When you're struggling to find that first idea, sometimes working with somebody else will either inspire you to come up with that first idea, like doing things that you wouldn't normally do. I remember when I made a beat for one of my friends in college. It was we had like a theme for it and whatnot, and it was something that I wouldn't normally do, but the beat actually came out pretty fire, and his help creating the beat also made it really, really good. So collaboration is a good one. And also, if you work with somebody else, if you work with another producer, they could just have the first idea and then you could go off what they do. Another way to beat writer's block is to sample. For me, again, like sampling is, you don't really have to have that first idea, or the first idea is easier. When you sit down at a DAW or sit down to compose a piece of music, the choices are basically infinite, and that's the real problem it's not a problem, but that's the tricky part. You really can do anything you want. With sampling, you really are letting the music inspire you. Like when I go to sample, all it takes is like a quick second and it sparks the idea, and it's not necessarily me making the idea. Another thing that's kind of kin to sampling is using loops. There's a lot of different people and sites that sell loops. I personally use Splice. I know the people at Producer Grind sell loops as well, so they're another good source. So loops are a good way to get some inspiration. And again, you can build a track around a loop and you don't have to have that first idea. Next is a little bit unorthodox. I would say get into a superstition. Create like a pre-routine or eat a specific meal or something like that. Doing little things like that will trick yourself into thinking that, okay, I've done my routine, now I can create. The superstition forces you or it's gonna make you sit down and make something. And you really never know when your ideas will hit or when they won't. Even when you're feeling inspired and creativity flowing through you and your ideas are hidden, you never know when the music's gonna be good, unless it's like sometimes you could tell, but you never really know what's gonna hit or not until it's done. If you're really not having any ideas, go back and remake your old work or polish it up. Next, try to make something you ordinarily wouldn't make. When you have writer's block, sometimes it's like the ideas you normally would have, you don't have. So doing something you wouldn't normally do would mean you'll think different than you thought before. So maybe your ideas come out with a different way of thinking. I've also heard people say that going to like Hawaii or going to a tropical island or something like that inspires creativity. I bet you if you go really anywhere in the world and you see something that you've always wanted to see, or you're in some location and just the energy is right there and the vibe is right there, the food should be good, like it should really just be a vibe. The more cost efficient alternative alternative of that is going to see something in your local area. Like, I went to an art museum in college, and the paintings, like the literal paintings in there, were inspiring to me. Just seeing the color palette and all that kind of stuff, and the way the colors mixed and the texture behind the painting, it was pretty dope. And it was my first experience with the art museum. And even that didn't really inspire me musically, but inspiration can be contagious. I think there's a reason why you see a lot of your favorite music people, they do things other than music. Like, a lot of people do clothing or like other artistic stuff, because your inspiration in one place can inspire you in another. If you really want to just take a break, or you think you're burned out and like none of the stuff I've mentioned before is really helping, I would say, again, just go live life. Go on a vacation, but don't try to make anything. Just enjoy the vibes, or go see something you've always wanted to see. Even like in your local area. Like right now, it's kind of, you don't really want to go out because there's COVID and whatnot. But when things are clear, just go around your local area and sightsee and whatever you want to do. But I would say, while you're taking a break, just keep your ears sharp. Listen to the latest and greatest. Make sure you're keeping up with trends, because you don't want to fall behind, or you don't want to have to catch up on music. I won't recommend drugs just off GP. Plus, I really don't think you should be dependent on something that is going to augment the chemistry in your brain. Like, I would just say stay off drugs, because once you become dependent on drugs to create something new, like, you'll always have to do it. And other than that, like, just chill out. Everybody gets writer's block. That's why people be clickbaiting on YouTube, talking about ways to get over it and stuff like that. Like, there really is no way to get over writer's block. Like, if you believe in the universe, like, when the universe doesn't want you to do something, you're not gonna be able to do it. And maybe, like, again, if you believe in the universe and cosmic energy and nature and all that kind of stuff, like, maybe it's time for you to just chill out, or maybe it's time for you to focus on something else for a bit. So that's my little 10 cents, I guess, on writer's block. There's really not much you can do. I just say, don't panic, and don't try to force nothing, because that's gonna just waste your time, basically. I have not made a listening list for this week as of right now. I don't think I'm going to. So no listening in the description this time. But thank you for listening.